Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another visit with MS Views and News, Stu's Views and MS News, and my name is Stuart Schlossman. Before I begin today, though, I want to do something that I haven't done in a while, and that is to thank our sponsors of our email newsletter, our podcast series, which this is what it's about, also Blog Talk Radio, our website, our blog, and many other things that we do. We have sponsors such as Biogen IDEC, Novartis, Questcor, Pfizer, Neuroscience Centers of Florida Foundation, Teva, and EMD Serono. Again, without their dollars, it would be difficult to do many of the programs that we do. So, yes, we have to live by sponsorship dollars as well as what we could get from the private community. So much for that, though. Let's go on to other things, because the topic of today's podcast is about nutrition. Please don't look at me for nutrition, because I am definitely not the physical specimen that you should be looking at. But there are many out there that actually are. And yes, even a person like Montel, who, he has things that, positives and negatives about Montel, but Montel looks pretty good, doesn't he, ladies? I'm sure you think so, too. There's just a lot of different people out there that have learned to eat correctly in life, and then there are those that haven't. But for multiple sclerosis, there are ways that you should be eating. And yes, this has to do with the general community as well. Everybody should be eating and staying away from high-fat foods, high sugar foods, high carb foods. There's just many things that we should not be doing, which most of us, unfortunately, though, do. And so the National MS Society has come out with a nice video about nutrition. And following hearing me speak, you're going to listen to their program. It is about nutrition, and it is something that we should all listen to, and hopefully we'll all, favor from it or benefit something from it. For me, about 18 or 19 months ago, I began what is called a pescatarian diet. And pescatarian is almost like vegetarian, except that I do eat seafood. Yes, all different types of seafood that I enjoy, I will consume. That means eat, for those that think that only consume means to buy. I do consume seafood as well as vegetable diet, or a vegetarian, not vegetarian, but a vegetable diet. I am definitely far from vegan. I'm a vegetarian / seafood, which makes me a pescatarian. Yes, it has helped me. I feel, anyway, that it has given me energy that I not necessarily was doing well about beforehand, because I was getting a lot more fatigue. Whether it's the medication that I'm on, or the diet that I'm doing, or just getting out and getting some exercise each day, I think it all benefits you. So these are the things that we need to do to reduce fatigue. Changing your diet could help reduce fatigue. Changing your diet also could help to just make you be able to get out more often. Maybe if, we look trimmer and feel better about ourselves, we tend to make ourselves available in public more often. So, without further ado, I don't want to hold you back from listening to this National MS Society webcast, podcast, whatever you want to call it, about nutrition. I do want you, though, to know that we would like whoever is listening to this that is not receiving our weekly e-newsletters to please visit our website. It's www.ms, as in multiple sclerosis, views, VIEWS, and AND, news, news.org, and click on the link to register. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you soon, or hear from you soon. Comment as much as you want. Find us on Facebook. Find MS Views and News on Facebook, on Twitter, LinkedIn, and, of course, on YouTube. Thank you again, and have a great time listening to the next portion of this message. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Tracy Kimball and welcome to MS Learn Online. Maintaining general good health is very important whether you have MS or any other chronic disorder. A well-balanced diet and carefully planned will help to achieve this goal. MS specialists recommend that people with MS adhere to the same low-fat, high-fiber diet that's recommended for the general population. Joining us to discuss MS and nutrition is Denise Nowak. Ms. Nowak is a registered dietitian and is the Executive Vice President of Chapter Programs and Services for the Southern California and Nevada chapter of the National MS Society. Thank you for joining us, Denise.
It's a pleasure being here, Tracy. Thanks.
Is there a special diet that is appropriate for people living with MS?
Tracy, while there isn't a specific diet for MS, nutrition is cornerstone to living well with MS, and there are certain considerations that one might want to pay attention to for living well with MS.
Let's talk about individual symptoms and things we can do in our diet that may make a difference. Say, for instance, fatigue.
Fatigue is one of those symptoms that can truly sabotage the best intentions of good nutrition. If you were to think about how you eat when you're tired, you might find that you're skipping meals, you're just grabbing whatever's at your fingertips, or you call out for food more often. And this is one area where nutrition plays a very important role. Foods are fuel, so if we're not getting what we need, we're not getting the fuel to feed our bodies. So it's kind of a vicious circle. I have 4 strategies that I recommend to people. Start your day and have a plan. When you get up in the morning, think about how you're going to spend your day, where you're going to spend your energy, and what you might want to eat at the end of the day, your dinner meal. That's usually where people lose track. Be a savvy snacker. Snacking is one of those things that might be the most beneficial for people with MS. It's easy to skip meals, so if we have smaller, more frequent meals throughout the day, then you keep your energy levels even. Third point is I encourage people to keep a power pantry, and consider the power pantry your emergency food supply. It's about keeping your refrigerator, your freezer, and your cupboard stocked with foods that you can just pull out, either grab and eat, or make a quick and easy meal. Finally, meal management could be kept simple, and using your power pantry, you could put your best assets to work. Think about gathering your stuff first. You don't have to stand at the counter to cook your meals. Take it on a tray or a rolling cart to the table. Put your meal together and pop it in the oven. Think about maybe cooking once, eating twice. Make a bigger meal and extend that throughout the week into perhaps a salad or a side dish. Or better yet, you can freeze your entrees and ready to serve casserole dishes. And then you can take them out, pop them in the oven later.
How about bladder issues? I have a challenge. I have to go all the time, it seems.
Well, with bladder issues, what we see are people oftentimes trying to control their output by limiting their intake. And fluid restrictions can really be problematic for folks. It can cause dry mouth, problems swallowing, and actually create urinary infections later on down the line. So we want to make sure we don't skip fluids. Easy way to fit fluids in is think about taking full glasses of fluids every time you take your medication. When you choose fluids, you probably want to limit alcohol and caffeine, however, because these act as diuretics. Some people are concerned about drinking fluids throughout the day, especially if they're out and about. And you could space your fluids accordingly. If you know you're going out and traveling in the car and you know you won't be at a place where you can visit the restroom, you might want to limit it at that point in time and pick up your fluids later in the day.
And then what about bowel issues?
Constipation can be common in people with multiple sclerosis, as with all of us. And 3 things come into play here. It's fiber, fluids, and fitness. These are all important to keep things moving. Fiber kind of acts as a broom to push things through our bowel. And fluids are important because it gives the fiber bulk so that it can actually move smoothly. Fitness, as it keeps all of us moving, keeps our intestinal tract moving as well.
Loss of mobility affects many of us with MS. Could you talk to us, please, about that in relation to diet and exercise?
Exercise is important from a lot of different perspectives, and it's important as best we can. You just keep moving. From a diet perspective, though, exercise plays an important role in weight management. So if you think about it, the food we eat, we have to spend those calories. Otherwise, we store it as fat. And those 5 extra pounds can really play a key role in managing fatigue. Exercise is also important in helping to manage fatigue as well. So it plays a very critical role in giving you energy once you build your endurance. And finally, as people stop moving and aren't able to weight bear, osteoporosis can become a problem. and that's a thinning of the bones. And from a diet perspective, calcium and vitamin D play a very important role in maintaining good bone health.
All right, let's talk about vitamin D. Should people living with MS take more vitamin D?
Vitamin D is one of the hot new nutrients, and I think we're to see more and more information about vitamin D, not just for MS, but for other health conditions as well. As far as MS goes, research does show that vitamin D may be helpful in preventing MS. Vitamin D is the sunshine vitamin, and it seems like the further away we get from the equator, the greater the prevalence of MS. And we believe that might be due to sun exposure to the skin in the production of vitamin D. Vitamin D may also play an important role in the progression of MS, and this is where research still is taking us. This is one area we want to keep our eyes on for certain. As far as daily intake for vitamin D, 2,000 international units is generally recognized as safe. It isn't recommended, though, that anybody take more than that without having a test of blood levels of vitamin D first. If you want to talk to your physician about that, it's a very simple test, and then if additional vitamin D is necessary, they can prescribe it and follow your course.
Are there any other supplements that may be beneficial for people with MS?
Calcium is a very important nutrient in the diet for people with MS, and quite often enough isn't found in their diet. We need 1,200 milligrams of calcium a day, so it's very safe to take from a supplemental standpoint, either calcium citrate or calcium carbonate. If you do take a supplement, though, split the doses. Take 500 milligrams perhaps in the morning and 500 at another time during the day. Another nutrient that might be good to take from a supplemental standpoint is omega-3. Omega-3 fatty acids play a very important role in the production of myelin, and they are mildly anti-inflammatory as well. We can get omega-3 fatty acids from deep water fish in our diet. And if fish isn't a favorite of yours, you can also find omega-3s in walnuts and flax seeds and flaxseed oil, though they're not as potent as the fish form of of omega-3s. Additionally, you can take a supplement. 1,000 international units of omega-3s is safe to take. And when the diet doesn't fill the bill, a multivitamin supplement really can be beneficial for someone with MS. If you are taking supplements, I do recommend that you do share that information with your physician so they can take that into account with all the other medications you may be taking as well.
Denise, that was very helpful. Thank you very much. If you would like to get more information on nutrition and MS, go to nationalmssociety.org. This is Tracy Kimball for MS Learn Online. Thanks for watching.